Hello and welcome to Local Live here at Making Music in sunny downtown Frederick, where we are hoping fall weather is soon on the rise. And Katie's flannel tells me it could be. I'm your host, Ashley of Vinyl Rhino and Original Project Slingshot. And today my guests are the fabulous two from the Unconditional Lovers. Ooh. Say hi to everybody at home there.
Hey guys.
Hello everybody at home.
Mom, Dad, Harriet.
Oh good, I hope
Riley.
they're on. So we're going to take a minute and go ahead and share the link here so everybody can see it live and interact. And as always, I'm happy to ask some questions to our guests, but we love it when you chime in and ask any questions you have about them. They do all original, so any particular questions about their writing process, just get on here. Look, they're live. Now is the time to get them. Get your answers, folks. We already have some folks tuning in. I want to say, shout out to Michael Gray, a former guest of mine on tour with Lee Bryce. Great guy. Shout out to Wally, who is like, the prince of making music next to Reg, the king. All right, guys. So, Colin, you've been on the show before.
I have.
So, if you don't mind, I would like to start a little bit with Katie. Now, Katie writes all the lyrics and music to the songs. Is that right?
Yes. So, this band started when I was just Katie Powderly, and I was looking for people to play with. And then I was traveling with a band as a sideman, like playing upright bass.
What band was that?
It was called Woody Pines.
Oh, cool. That's a good band name.
Yeah, and I loved his tunes, and so we came through on a tour. I did like 36 nights with him, like in 2012, in the winter of 2012, and we played at Cafe Nola, and we rolled into the venue, and like the first 3 songs in the overhead music were my friends' bands, and so I was like, this place is cool, there's like this little cool town where we are, they're playing your tunes on the overhead, and I made friends with all the people that were at that show in Cafe Nola, and I came back to visit the following spring of 2013, and I went to Cafe Nola again because I was like, there's so many cool people here. And then Colin was playing in another band, and I said, hey man, great set. And he was like, I must have said something different because you were like, are you a musician? And I said, why would you say that to me? And you were like, nobody would compliment my band the way you just did unless you were a musician.
Is that a Mesa up there? Is that a Mesa boogie you're playing
Yeah,
out of?
yeah.
I was like, you must be a musician.
Yeah.
And you were like, do you want to come over to my house tomorrow and play songs? I was like, yeah, but I
And
don't
I
know how to
invited
jam. All I know how to
everyone,
do is play my own songs that I write. And you were like, okay, cool. And you brought all these dudes over.
Yeah.
And I went to a house by myself with all these men that I'd never met before. I'm like,
It
I'm
sounds like being a
murdered to
female
death.
in the music industry.
I was like, if I don't come back in like a couple hours, but then you were living with like Salino Mountains. That whole house was like the Salino
Music
Mountains
house.
house.
Oh yeah.
And before that, it had been the band, the Heavy Laces house.
So it was like a band house.
It was a
So
band
there was
house.
some-
Where is the house? Is this like a speakeasy? Does the
No,
house still
It
exist?
doesn't. And it
It
actually,
actually burned to the ground.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Who's written the song about that?
I haven't
don't know.
yet.
That's the night that the lights went out in Frederick. I want to know
Yeah.
more about that.
Well, it was yet another band living there at that
Yeah,
time. Luke's
um,
band. They sang the whiskey song.
Signs Point East.
Yes.
Side we I
They
heard
were
of
living
this
there when the
band.
house
It's
burned
great.
down. Yeah.
Yeah.
Chev or Chevrolet, I guess how you put it. I say Chev because I'm thinking goat cheese.
Okay.
But
okay.
Chevrolet, I think
Yeah.
how they pronounce
I
it.
feel you, yeah.
They were like the last of the group. Those guys.
So, but everybody got out okay.
Everyone's great.
What
Everyone's
about gear? Was any gear injured
a lot
in the
of
fire?
gear was,
Yeah.
and they had to
Yeah.
refurb a lot of it. It was really a heavy deal, but they're all back. They've recovered a lot of it, and they're
Everybody-
all back and playing again. So that's
Oh,
good
an
news.
excuse
Yeah.
to have to come to making music and buy new gear. Darn
Yeah.
bad luck.
Yeah.
But I just showed up at these dudes' house. at
And where
your
were you
house.
from originally?
Well, that's a long story, but I'm from Wisconsin, but I had been living in Tennessee, and I'd been traveling around our country doing a lot of different things, all of which were musical. But yeah, I was living in Knoxville, Tennessee, and then it was hard to put a band together down there because all of my Tennessee friends who I had recorded with previously on my first record as a songwriter, they were all in much bigger touring bands, and it's really hard to get people to play a show with you if their other band is touring, like if they're gonna be at the Ryman, which they weren't back then, but now they are. And so
Right.
it's like, it was tough for me to put a band together. So it was like, I was kind of looking for a town where I could settle down, and I wanted certain characteristics in a downtown. It had to have like a sense of community and cool musicians and a cool scene and be convenient to other musical towns, and people had to be really nice. And it was just like, I didn't intend for that to be Frederick, but it was one of those things where as soon as I got here, I met you and Kevin that first night, and it was just like something happened, and then you introduced me to Silent Old Mountains, and then Heavy Lights, and like everyone in a band at that time gave me the hugest like metaphorical hug. It was so nice. I was like, well, maybe I could just like stay here.
And then she moved here.
And then Flying Dog gave us that gig. So we were like, okay, well, I'll stay like a month or two, and we'll just play that gig at Flying Dog.
We just
and
kept
that was
booking
fun.
until Katie
And then
decided.
Artemisia.
Yeah, so you're
And then
here
next
by
thing you know,
permanent
like,
contract.
Yeah, we just kept booking until eventually she said, we're going to live here. And then we were like, we need to get out of this band. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. No, but we stayed. We stayed too.
6
It's
years
been
later.
6 years. Yeah, 6
I
years.
know.
We went from Katie Powderly and the Unconditional Lovers to the Unconditional Lovers.
Why? Why?
Well,
Why?
I used to feel in a lot of ways kind of like a lone wolf, and I think I used to write all my songs, and I think given my musical background, I really needed a project where I had total creative control. And in my last album that was released as Katie Powderly, I had creative control like to every single detail you can imagine. I had written all the songs, produced it, like executed everything, like how it was like auditory visions. Like I had this vision of how that record had to be in my mind, and we executed it together as a team, but it had to be, I think because I had never been, I don't know, I just needed creative control to prove something to myself, and because I had never had that in different musical collaborations before, it had never been my way, and I wanted to see what I could make if I had the opportunity to do things my way. And it was a really great exercise, and it was really cathartic and a great learning experience. I'm super grateful for everyone who joined me on that journey, and we made something that I feel really proud of. But I didn't want to be a lone wolf anymore, and when I moved here, and like these guys have been, I don't know, they were just, I'm not like a religious person, but I would definitely say I'm a very spiritual person, and these guys, the Unconditional Lovers, are the answer to like 10,000 prayers of mine of just like wanting what I have now. And so
This is the most romantic soliloquy I have ever heard on the show. Like a love letter to your band. I'm feeling like crap. Like I need to text the guys in my band. Like you guys are cool too. I don't know if I feel the way Katie feels about Colin, but
no, but it was just like to be like encircled all the time by people who really believe in your songs, and like Kenny Eaton said the best quote of all time. He was like, "Do you know that like a bunch of the best dudes in Frederick carry like really heavy gear upstairs just because they believe in your songs?" And I was like,
wow.
I know. He was just like, "You should take that really seriously. Like that's a compliment." And I was like, it's definitely not something I take for granted, but I just had never thought about it that way. And I don't know, it just I really feel proud of what we make together, and we have fun, and it's more than just like making songs. It's like we're in this familial, you know what it's like being in bands, like you have this familial relationship with the dudes in your band, and you just, it's more than song. It's songs, but then it's also more than songs.
Yeah. It's like staying up late and like
Talking about stuff.
Talking
and, like,
about stuff and, you know.
driving places, being in a
driving
band
places,
together.
yeah, exactly. Traveling and not sleeping and, you know, all that fun
Recording.
stuff. Recording, which we've done a lot of recently.
where do you guys record?
Right now we're at Mystery Time, Kenny Eaton's studio. We've done, the whole summer has been dedicated to recording, at least the whole summer, actually before that. And we have managed to record over 8 songs.
9.
I think. 9 songs, yeah.
Now in the process, are these songs that you've been playing out for a long time and now you're just like perfecting them in the recording process? And
Mostly,
like, or
yeah.
are any of them ones that they're pretty new and they're kind of evolving right there in the moment?
I think we did 2 in the studio. So we
Okay.
heard them like in the studio, right? And then we recorded them.
Mm-hmm.
So-
I
Because
had
it's such a different process, right? When you have this baby that you've carried forever and you're like, oh, we're recording it. Oh,
Yeah.
wait, now that we're recording it, maybe. you
Yeah,
know?
yeah, we threw 2 more in the mix. Just figured it out in the parking lot and then made it happen. It's a cool
I didn't
group
tell
of
them
guys
that until
too.
the last minute. Yeah,
Yeah.
I know.
We have a really good group of dudes who are like all devoted to it.
So what's the shout out? So who's in the lineup?
Kevin Etzler,
Okay.
drummer.
All right.
should be watching.
Hey, let's see.
Neil and Evan Durr are brothers, and that's the
Ooh.
band. So the 2 of us, Neil and Evan Durr, and Kevin Etzler.
And
who
what
I've
does
known
everyone
since
play in the
high school.
band?
Kevin's the drummer.
Right.
Evan Durr is the bass player. Neil plays guitar. I play keys. Katie plays guitar and sings.
Love it.
Mhm.
And now you do obviously the lead vocals,
Mm-hmm.
and that's on every track.
Yes.
Okay. And then who provides any backing vocals within the band?
Generally, none.
None?
we're-
He
we're-
has in the past.
I have in the past, and I just decided I want to stick to this.
We have some special guests from other bands
cool.
joining us for harmonies on the record, but those are still secret. But
Oh, secret?
yeah.
Well, this
yeah.
is my job to say maybe give us one, Katie.
One. Well,
It may or may not be Bruce Hornsby.
Oh, what?
may or may not be. With the emphasis on may not be.
exactly.
When
well,
the day goes down on Watertown,
Oh.
it'll be Bruce Hornsby.
It's true.
Well, actually, one of those people. So the next show that we have booked in Frederick is at the Weinberg Center on October 5th.
October 5th. This is good. I was
October
going to
5th.
ask you that anyway. October 5th at the Weinberg. That's soon. That's great.
It's really soon, yeah. And so we're playing with my friends, the Steel Wheels, who are from Harrisonburg, Virginia, and they are Americana artists, and they are the total package. Like the songwriting's there, the instrumentation's there, the chops are there, and also the arrangements, and it's just like compelling and vibe-wise, they're incredible. I'm so excited to bring. I've opened for them before. I just played with them in Wisconsin in I think it was May. I went out there, but I went out there as a solo artist. And I've been wanting to play with my full band and with them, and so I'm really excited that we're going to do that in October. But so Jay Lapp is the mandolin and dobro player from that band, and he is one of the people who's offered to sing some harmonies with me on this record. So I'm really excited about it and feel really grateful that, again, I just feel like I'm really lucky and fortunate to have a community of people who all believe in my songs and are willing to do stuff that's inconvenient in order to make my songs come to life. And I don't know, it's just I'm still just really tickled by that. Every single day, I just can't even get
That's
over
the
it.
ultimate support. Not
I
only
know.
to stop and say I like your music, but also I'm going to take my time and effort and muscles to be a part of your music.
I can't get over it. My life is a dream. All my dreams are coming true, and it's just really nice.
I love that. All our
Yeah.
dreams are coming true. Katie,
Yeah.
that's what I'm trying to hear. So now we want you to play a song for us in just a
Okay.
minute. So in anticipation of that, just one last quick question, and I do want to get some shout outs in. So we've got a bunch of people on there. Kenneth says, hey, KP, kill it, girl.
What up?
He's
Which Kenny?
recording us, so is that
There's-
Kenny?
Yeah.
Kenny Eaton or which Kenneth?
It says Kenneth WK the second.
Oh, Kenny, what's up?
That's a serious name.
Yeah,
I mean,
dude,
that
he's a
sounds like a
serious
professional
chef.
wrestler.
I
He's
know.
a chef. What's up, Kenny? It's good to see you, buddy.
Okay, we got so many great people tuning in right here. Hi to VJ. Oh, hi to Paul, another famous local Frederick. Do I say it? Paul Fow, I think is that right?
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
another local we should have you on the show, Paul.
Yes.
Let's
And
see.
you're booked as of this moment.
And you're gonna do some harmonies on Katie's record. Surprise! Just kidding. Everyone's saying, hey, Gregory, I'll tell you about my vacation later. Maybe I'll get Katie to write a song about the Smoky Mountains since she was in Knoxville. I just got back from there, so.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh,
like
I'm
literally,
so homesick
over
for
the
it
weekend.
sometimes.
It's
It's
amazing.
fun.
So my question before you play is the difference. So a lot of these songs, I'm assuming you wrote and you've been playing as a solo artist, right? And then you brought them to the band
At least on the first album.
for the first album. right?
Absolutely.
My first album I wrote before I met any of these guys, and then I kind of brought them here are my song babies, you want to learn how to play them? And they were like, yeah man, and so that's what we traveled and played at first. And then I started writing when I moved here, and I had some songs, I had written songs, as soon as my last recording was in the can, I always, whenever some of my songs are recorded, I always go through kind of another period of intense writing, just because I think I'm emotionally freed up to write after,
Right, yeah.
So I had some stuff that was a partial kind of song. I had some songs written, and then most of these I've have become fully formed since we've been a band.
This song we're doing Beneath Blue Light.
This
Yes.
song,
Beneath
yes.
Blue Light we call collectively Song Baby because it's
Okay.
the band's Song Baby.
Aw.
So it's one we wrote together. So
Well-
we Katie had this idea, sang it, said these lyrics, we did it, we had different installments of the bit. You didn't have the lyrics for it?
No, I wrote it before. I didn't write it with you guys,
Oh.
but I brought it to you guys, and
We tweaked it, we made it our babies.
Well, that was actually the root of my question: is
Yeah.
how would you describe your style, and has it become different since working with the other
Yes.
musicians?
Yeah, so it's definitely Americana music. If you took all the boys away, it would be I would say folk music, because it's very lyrics based, and my goal is to create a compelling narrative, so it's very lyrical, and it's just a girl and a guitar, but when you add a bunch of electric instruments, there becomes a weight, and it feels like you got a bunch of people backing you up. as far as Beneath Blue Light goes, like I wrote that by myself, and then I brought it to the band, and it became like fleshed out more and more full, and it sounded like, but
I just felt like I was fully creating my own part, which was like,
Yes.
that's what I guess I'm talking about, because it feels like mine,
Yeah.
hopefully as much as Katie feels like it's hers in a lot of ways. Like I
Well, yeah,
feel
because a
connected
lot of
to it as
iconic
well.
songs, right? It
So-
depends. Like I'll listen to a song and say, "Oh my God, I can't believe that hook. That's genius."
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then my
it's-
husband's like, "That riff is what makes the song the opening riff," you know? And I'm
Yes.
like, "Well,
So, yes.
it's totally different for
Sure.
different
so
people."
in that way, you're absolutely right. I thought, yeah.
Heartfelt.
But it wasn't like we sat in the room and we're like, okay, and then you'll go to this chord and be like, blah, blah, blah. Like, for sure. Like,
Mhm.
with your solos and the parts that are, like, really emotionally resonant, especially with what's on the record, like, that's all your brain working within the framework that, like, I created the framework and then the boys, like, do what they need to do in that
Yeah.
space.
Working independently together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
all
Which
for
I
one.
really love. Yeah, and yeah, it is a song baby in the sense that I felt like some weird gestational period where like I knew it was about Frederick. I mean, I remember like where I was standing, like it was a day just like this actually, and I was standing in the corner near Candy Kitchen across the street from the record store where Soren worked, and like I just remember like the leaves, everything felt super crisp and all my senses felt really heightened, and I went back to my apartment and I just like blurted it all out, and it just came out.
We're about to blur it.
I can't think of a better intro than that.
Yeah.
This is like
We're about to
seriously
blur it.
behind the music here on
This
Local
is
Live at
deep.
Bacon Music.
This is Deep Frederick. Do you know the record store where Soren works? And like all of Frederick's be like, yeah, man, does.
I know, there's like two people from out of town like, I have no idea.
Oh, yeah,
But
exactly.
you need to visit Frederick, okay guys?
Go to
Check
the
it out.
record store.
Also-
Soren doesn't work there anymore, but go
we
check
need
it out.
we need to hire Soren back because it is not the same. Without
Oh, my
walking by
gosh.
the
Oh yeah, we
music
got a
store.
petition going right now in the comments. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, I'm excited to hear it. You have the Unconditional Lovers on Local Live. Take it away, guys.
Thanks. Wally, I appreciate you.
Tech Wally.
I know. This is some kind of service. I really appreciate it. Do you wanna?
Yeah, 4, 5.
We drink iced coffee in the street, and I couldn't believe I felt like a leaf from a tree floating down city streets in a day. Do you want me to try to love you? Do you want me to try to love you? Records beneath blue light windows open. I was hoping you'd kiss me. When I got up and left you alone, I was wondering if you would miss me. Do you want me to try to love you? straight to your face, with my knees like a belt always buckled in. Do you want me to try to love you? Do you want me to try to love you? Do you want me to try to love you? Do you want me to try?
The crowd goes wild.
I was clapping for you, Wally.
Sorry to be a heavy breather
I
in
saw
your
you
life.
were no.
Oh, heck, come on, get your heavy breathing on. Be Allison Krauss. Own that breathing.
Harrison Keeler from Prairie Home Companion. I
Yeah.
remember him from Minnesota Public Radio. Anyway, we got
This is NPR. That was great.
My show.
So that was awesome. So what are some of your influences?
as a songwriter.
Yeah.
Joni,
Other writers. Oh.
Joni Mitchell, Emmylou Harris. My guitar is named Emmylou.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
I've
you guys
known
are
that
getting
for years.
all these
Oh my
late
goodness.
nights. He's saying he doesn't know.
I didn't know.
I set him up.
I didn't know. I thought it was named something totally different.
What did you think the guitar was named?
I thought it was named Zach Wilde personally, but
Wow, I really
That's
heard
just
that in
me.
the song. Definitely heard that Zach Wilde influence.
Is that a songwriter?
yes. Mhm.
That's okay. Let's get back to Joni. He's happy
Your
now.
band? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm
I
so
wish
sorry.
Zach Wilde was in my band. Oh my gosh. Yeah,
Um,
we get on the cover of Guitar World a lot more.
I live in a very small musical bubble. No, Graham Parsons, a lot of 70s like country stuff.
Oh, you keep going with the 70s country. Yeah, let's
Yeah, like Merle Haggard and George Jones. I grew up playing bluegrass music, playing bass in a bluegrass band since I was a teenager. So a lot of my influence, Dolly Parton is a huge influence. So I have like a
Well,
weird,
Knoxville, yeah, you're right there. You're so close to Pigeon Forge.
yeah, I know, she's the best. But actually I did that mostly in Wisconsin, I lived in Wisconsin longer than I lived anywhere else. But then I moved away because of the weather. Because you don't have to shovel sunshine. So I moved south.
You don't have to shovel sunshine?
Yeah.
Did you write this song already, or is this a song you're writing? Because please use that in a song.
I don't know. A lot of different people. Bob Dylan, obviously. And then more modern people. It's hard for me to think of modern songwriters, but I know I listen to them. It's just like not what I grew up listening to, I guess. Like, I don't know. My parents had a sick vinyl collection, so that's what I remember when I was like a malleable child forming my musical preferences probably. So
Very cool. That's all right. I mean, Zach Wilde's okay, but Dolly Parton, you're probably getting a lot more out of
Right,
that.
no, nothing like Zach Wilde, but I really thought that was the name of your 60s Gibson.
my other guitar is a 1951 LG2, and that's named after my mom, Nancy Ann. But
Aw.
this guitar is named Emmylou because
Do you know what
Emmylou
this is
Harris
called?
used to play. Well, that's your new one. That's not the whole
It
thing.
has a name though.
What is your, let's
It's called Butterfly Junior.
Butterfly Junior. Is
The
there
person was called Butterfly, and
Okay.
someone dropped a magnet that said Butterfly on my board.
Oh,
And then this is the exact same board in black.
okay. Butterfly
It's the
Junior.
same, so it became Butterfly Junior, but I don't have a magnet that says it on it.
Does it ever go by BJ or no?
Oh, yeah,
A
now
little
it
too
does.
rednecky or just for time?
Today, as of today, just so happens you're dead on.
What do you
Butterfly
guys think
Junior.
about naming inanimate objects?
Oh, all
Yay,
the time.
nay?
Yeah, way.
Let's poll the audience. How do you feel about it? Naming
Yay,
inanimate
nay?
objects. I think for gear, Right?
Guitars, like,
My
do you
robot
name your
vacuum has a
guitars?
name.
It's a big. Do you guys name your instruments? That sounded leading. Don't take that the wrong way. Name your musical stuff, like here at Making Music, like your guitars. I don't think an amp. I don't know if an amp is deserving of a name. Is that
But
mean?
I feel like a guitar or like your instrument, I feel like it's hard not to want to name. Like you get such an intimate relationship with that. I feel like it's hard not, like, I don't know, in a sea of guitars, like mine is special.
And then a lot of songs personify your instruments too, especially in country and folk. You know,
Yeah, like
that.
Willie Nelson with Trigger. Come
Yeah,
on, everyone
yeah.
knows who Trigger is.
All right, so let's see. Is anybody writing in? No, they're all just saying things about Pigeon Forge, Jason, and Jude Evans says Katie,
Yes.
and then Jude says I love making music. Buy all my gear there. Well, now you have to name it, Jude. That's just a fact. With a name
Yeah.
like Jude, you should.
Oh,
know
yeah.
that.
Jude
That's
really
great.
loves Katie. I taught her lessons for a while, I think. If this is the same Jude, and she loves you.
Oh,
She said a lot of really nice things about you. Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Gregory is saying
Hey,
yes.
Jude.
You gotta name your gear. You just gotta. It's a
Yeah,
fact.
I think it's just a thing.
So we can see you October 4th at the
Fifth.
October 5th.
October 5th.
Like,
Whoops.
give me 5.
Oh, that's
In
a good way to
October.
remember. And in unison, you guys are in sync. I love it.
Mhm.
Without the dancers, you don't need those. That's a different in sync.
Oh.
So we can see you there. Any other local shows coming up that they should mark their calendars for?
We don't have any shows coming up besides the 5th.
No, but we are finishing a record and we will be booking a lot for the spring, so once the record is released. But in the interim, we've been kind of like hunkered down and just like secretly, quietly working on stuff. And then when the album comes out, we're gonna share it with everyone.
Oh, cool. And then where can we find your music online?
Oh, thanks for asking.
My pleasure.
We have all social media sites, a Facebook page, an Instagram page, and that's at The Unconditional Lovers. We have a website, theunconditionallovers.com, but I would say probably the best way to follow what we're doing is to follow us on social media or sign up for our email list, because as soon as stuff starts cooking with the record, I'll be sending out like monthly emails just to keep people apprised of the progress if people wanna. My last record I funded with a Kickstarter campaign.
Yeah.
And I raised like almost $16,000, which was at the time like record breaking. Like I was on the homepage of the Kickstarter website, and like it was a big deal back then in those days. And obviously times have changed, but there are people who believe in my songs, and I want to keep them in the loop. And I think we're gonna do. I don't know how we're gonna release this one yet, because we'll figure something out. But I want to keep people who want to know. I want to keep them in the loop.
I love it. Well,
Yeah.
would you mind? We have a lot of people already requesting for you to play one more
Yeah.
song.
They're
before
like,
we
please.
leave. Yeah. No, they want to hear more. That's good.
Was
So-
it Wally? Was Wally one of those people?
You know, Wally is always one of those.
Oh, I knew it.
Wally
Thank
books
you,
the
Wally.
talent, so I always know it's going to be a good guest. So once again, I'm Ashley Maria Vinyl Runner and Slingshot. You are on Local Live here at Making Music in downtown Frederick. And one last time, open up your ears for the Unconditional Lovers.
Ready?
No.
Oh, you got mine.
Wally
I
and
gotta
Wally.
like scooch stuff and do like move things around. This is a song. Sorry about all this sound of things and gear. This song is called "Live and Learn."
1, 2, 3. Huh!
Night falls, skin's hurt me. Day breaks, her heart like me. You say live and learn. Y'all take turns in there.
get on
Thank
over to
you.
Weinberg on October 5th to see the Unconditional Lovers. This has been Local Live and Making Music. Thank you guys for joining me today.
Thank you. We left a couple posters and stickers behind the desk here, so if you come in shopping for your gear to buy local and shop local in Frederick, Maryland, you can get a treat. Bye.
Yeah, free stuff. I love it. Oh, and also, oh my gosh, I can't believe I almost forgot. This is exciting. I have to stand up. October 1st, my guests are going to be two extremely famous people. Are you ready to hear who it is?
Yeah, we better. What the
I
heck,
mean-
Ashley? Why are you holding out on us?
We have been waiting for a really long time to have these two people on the show. It is going to be the owners of Making Music. You know them, you love them. Reg and Pam are finally going to be my guests. And then we're going to celebrate the 35th anniversary on the 35th episode of Local Live. So we're going to have a full-on jam. I think we're going to party a little bit, right, Wally?
Oh, that sounds
So
fun.
that is going to be the show to not only watch, but maybe come to if you're
Can
in
we
the
come in
area.
person and like fangirl and
You guys
fanboy out?
definitely should.
Okay.
I think you're personally invited right now.
Yes.
Can we flash like VIP badges? and-
Yeah, I
okay,
mean,
cool.
obviously. Bring Emmy Lou and BJ over there. So October 1st, 5:30, Reg and Pam here on Local Live. Thanks, you guys.
Bye guys,
Yeah,
thank you.
bye.